This is a CBS News special report. I'm Tony DeCopel in New York. We are waiting for what is likely to be more alarming news on the economy, an economy already devastated by the coronavirus. The Labor Department will announce weekly unemployment claims momentarily, and they are expected to be in the millions, even more than the nearly 3.3 million announced a week ago. That number was more than 10 times what we've been seeing in recent years. It was nearly 5 times the all-time record. Over the course of the entire Great Recession a decade or so ago, about 8 or 9 million jobs were lost. We lost a third of that 2 weeks ago. In a moment, we're going to find out what the loss was in the following week, a time period during which the number of states that had shut down all but essential businesses only grew. At this moment, 4 in 5 Americans are in a stay-at-home, shelter-in-place state of mind. They are not spending their money, and businesses are laying people off by the millions. Let's go now to CBS business analyst Jill Schlesinger, who I believe has a number for us. Jill, good morning. What is it?
Good morning. I believe that someone just whispered in my ear, more than 6 million. I hope that's right, because I just heard a lot of things in my ear at once. And if that is correct, that is more than twice that we saw last week. You know, these numbers are so devastating. 6.64 million is the actual number just out by the Labor Department. I want to put this in context. As you said, Tony, these are numbers that we saw over the course of the entire Great Recession. And we don't know how many of these people are going to get back to work and how quickly. But I think the problem is this is like a flood, and the waters are still rising. And it is going to seem like these numbers are horrible for weeks on end. But soon we hope that the floodwaters will recede. We just don't know when.
Well, Jill, I mean, 6 million jobless claims in 1 week. That is a new record over the record set the week before. And each one of these jobs lost means another paycheck that's not being spent in the community, that is not circulating in the economy. How can one job loss lead to even still more? And where does this put us trajectory-wise as we look into the next quarter?
You know, I think that as we look at economic growth, it's obviously come to a standstill, and that started as early as the beginning of March. We are obviously in a recession already. We usually only claim a recession in retrospect, but it's clear from these numbers that we are there. We are seeing economic output estimates, meaning what's going to happen in the economy. They're all over the place. We just got one out from the Bank of America of a more than 15% drop that we could see in the next quarter. We've seen estimates up to 30%. But what we really are looking at here is the unknown. And I think that is why economists are all over the place with these projections. We are not talking about something we've ever seen before. We're talking about something that is essentially a health pandemic that is now morphed into an economic pandemic. And there are too many variables.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
when you have economists talking to epidemiologists, then we are going to get estimates all over the world.
Yeah, this is all very new. There is no precedent, but somebody with a long memory on this subject who has covered the economy for years is our Anthony Mason. So let's go to him with a question. Anthony, good morning.
Yeah, Jill, I'm wondering if you're running a business right now, you don't know what to plan for. So how do you plan? What do you do?
Well, I think that this goes back to your basics. And I've been talking to a lot of small business owners specifically, and they are saying, look, this program for these through the Small Business Administration, which opens tomorrow, could be important. But they're looking at what is my payroll? What are my options? What would happen under a number of scenarios? And so when we look at that together and we start planning out, you see that a lot of these small businesses do not have 8 weeks that they can fund themselves. They don't have 12 weeks. I think that this is going to mean that many of these businesses are going to remain shuttered, and they are planning on remaining shuttered for far longer than the government programs last. And I think that's the issue here. We have a gap between what people need and what the government is about to provide.
And Jill, thank you very much. And that headline again, 6.6 million new unemployment claims, which means over the past 2 weeks, this country has lost as many jobs as it lost during the entire 2 years of the Great Recession. Our coverage will continue on our 24-hour streaming network, CBSN, and you can watch it at cbsnews.com or on our CBS News app. There will be more to come on your local news on this CBS station, and tonight, of course, on the CBS Evening News with Norah O'Donnell. Many of you will now return to CBS This Morning. This has been a CBS News special report. I'm Tony DeCopel, CBS News, New York.
For news 24 hours a day, go to cbsnews.com.